art can communicate about what is seen, but also about what is unseen. It can help us understand the natural world and the supernatural world. So as a Christian, that's important because we want to be able to communicate the full revelation that God has given us. He gives us special revelation about Jesus Christ. He also gives us a general revelation of creation. And artists reflect this in their work. For example, when we think about 19th century landscape artists, the beauty of their work is in recording the virgin wilderness of the United States at that time. We're talking about Bierstadt and Cole and Church. And these guys who did a fascinating job of just amazing job of creating murals that show the landscape of the United States prior to industrialization. But what they were showing was general revelation, the creation of God, which reveals to us who he is. And the awe and the wonder and the majesty of creation is really seen in those landscape artists. We see how art is a powerful tool to communicate general revelation about God, but also special revelation. We think of Giotto in the Middle Ages and his paintings that were show the humanity of Christ and the crucifixion, the Annunciation, but also the deity of Christ. And just beautiful at that time, just a revolutionary way of showing the special revelation found in Scripture. Or we can think about the storytellers who created stained glass and did that kind of craftsmanship in the windows of Sainte-Chapelle in Paris, France. And we see these beautiful, enormous stained glass windows. You don't even know how this building can even hold up all this glass, but it's amazing. And it's stories. Every window is a story, is a book of the Bible, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, all in stained glass. And so we can see how artists can show special revelation in their art, especially to people that are illiterate, and even it can cross language barriers, which as Christians is very important to us in our mission. We're called to take the gospel to the ends of the earth, which means the corners and the cracks of the earth where they speak languages that other people don't know about, where maybe their people aren't educated, they don't have books, where it's oral tradition. And in these primitive cultures, art can be a very powerful tool to help us communicate the gospel until we can get their languages, the Bible into their languages. There's still many, I think 200 at least languages where we don't have the written word. So we can use visual arts, and I would even suggest dance and other arts, although I'm specifically more talking about visual arts today, but performing arts as well, certainly musical arts as well, can help to communicate the gospel. So art speaks across the language barriers, and God charges us with this mission. And this is actually, historically speaking, art was used to do this. If you study the history of England, the first missionary, St. Augustine of Canterbury, actually brought a giant picture of Christ and the cross with his monks when they first came to bring the gospel into England. So they brought a visual image. I don't know who made that image. I don't know who painted it but somebody made it. And that artist it was so valuable what they were doing. They were bringing Christ into England and eventually, as we all know, transformed that nation. The gospel transformed that nation. An artist doesn't need a paycheck to prove their worth. Art doesn't need a price tag to show its merit. Art and artists' powerful contribution to advancing the kingdom show the value of art. Its purpose proves its point. Being an artist is not a second-rate ministry. It's not like, pastors and preachers are here and then artists are down here. No, it's a valuable service offered to the King of Kings that reflects his glory and retells truth to every generation. So let's not leave it out of our home schools, and let's make sure we've got it in our Christian schools, our private schools, that we include art and realize the potential and power of art and artists in helping to transform our culture and helping to bring the gospel to this generation. And let's encourage them and know that they're just as valuable, no matter how much, if they ever make money from their work, what they're doing, and especially today in the visual arts of photography and videography and filmmaking, these are powerful ways we can communicate the gospel in 2024.